It's Dave Day here on SSPTV News Sports Fans. Let's welcome Dave Seaman, the Standard Speaker Sports Editor. And Dave, District 2 track and field meet in the books. Good news for Cougars and Lady Cougars. Paige Bonin takes the Javelin District Championship. She'll head to the state championships again this year. She'll be with teammate Katara Leggett. She was second in the shot put. And Joe Grullett will go for both events. I was talking with our John Eric Pola, who's a coach at Pittston, and I think he told me that Joe got that triple jump on his last try at the district meet.
Yeah, he made it on his last, and it was definitely an emotional moment for Joe and his entourage, you might want to say, because Joe brings a lot of people, and just the effort that he put into the season. Again, as we talked about in the past, I mean, Joe he's relatively new to the sport. He's just like learning all the mechanics of first the javelin and now the jumping events. Obviously, he's an outstanding athlete. Gets into the triple jump competition where he's faced against Kyron Harbin of Scranton, who's a dynamic athlete. Joe's faced him on the basketball court a few times now over the past few seasons. Looked like Harbin was going to win the competition. For Joe to get to states, that he wasn't going to catch Harbin, he had to meet the state qualifying standard, which I believe was 45 feet. And lo and behold, Joe hasn't made that in his first couple jumps. He comes down to his last jump, and as any gamer does, he stepped up when when the chips were down, and he made the jump and qualified for states.
Dave, Steve Stallone had the coverage for you. Read it. It was in the Standard Speaker, and I loved in the story he was talking about Paige Bonin throwing the javelin. And really, when he was interviewing her, she talked about the struggle of, having the injury last year. I think it was an ACL, and then coming back this year. And it wasn't all, this triumphant story. There were some challenges she faced with it, but to get back to states, that's quite a feat, and she'll be healthy this year. And Steve Stallone had coverage of all the athletes who got medals from the Hazelton Area High School. One of them was Jeff Planudis, basketball player. Dave, high jumped in middle school and then picked it up late in the season. I talked to him about his bronze medal at districts.
Yeah, I actually picked it up last week, so I knew there was one meet left to qualify for districts. I did it in middle school, and I knew I could qualify, but I didn't know how well I would do in district because there's more than just jumping to that. It's like the whole form and stuff. So I did still get a third medal, which was awesome. So now I have a bronze, silver, and gold in District 2. That was cool.
So now they'll get ready for the District 11 championships. Of course, you can catch coverage of that in the Standard Speaker. And Dave, let's move on to softball. The Schuylkill League championships coming up. North Schuylkill will take on Pine Grove. It's round 3 this season, Dave. They split their first 2 meetings. I'm very interested in that. Would a run at the end of the season by North Schuylkill. See what they can do now at the end with league championships and then district playoffs coming up. In the Hazelton area softball team, Dave, you've been following them all season long. We always mention their hitting. Someone you keep bringing up is Marissa Tribalpiece. She's really been on fire lately, Dave. I looked at the stats, 13 for 24. She has a 542 average since the beginning of May, 4 home runs and 11 RBI. You're seeing her in person, so very impressive.
Yeah, and she'd be the first one to admit that she was slumping at the beginning of the season, by her standards anyway, and she's really, stepped up her game in the middle of that order, an experienced hitter. She's played a lot of softball. We can take it through the travel ball years, and then stepping up last year as a freshman, being part of that state final team. And, she knew she was going to be a key contributor this year. It took her a while to get into the swing of things, but once she started, finding the pitches that she's liked, not many pitchers have been satisfied with those results because they're not just cheap home runs either. She's hitting the ball every field. She's spraying the ball, in every direction, over the fence, long home runs, line drives, doubles, triples, and like you said, home runs. I believe she has eight home runs this season. She's catching Tiana Treon for the team lead in RBIs. It just seems like she's getting a big hit whenever she steps up to the plate.
And I also spoke with Marissa about her hitting success recently.
I don't know, I just have a lot more confidence. The first half of the season, I was just kind of too much concerned about getting on base. Now I'm just you can hit, go up there, and I'm more aggressive. I used to get very far behind the count. Now I'm going up there looking to whack the first one. So.
Now I actually spoke with Marissa and Jeff, and they were promoting a basketball game next week, Dave. It's the first ever Cougars Dunk Depression charity basketball game. We'll have a full preview tomorrow on SSPTV News. Dave, you wanted to mention the boys volleyball team from Hazelton area qualifying for the Districts 2/11 sub-regional playoffs. Big feat this year, and they've been pretty consistent all year long.
Yeah, they have, and they finished in the upper division of the Wyoming Valley Conference this year. I believe that's the first time that's happened in several years. Now you get an opportunity to, play in the sub-regional tournament. Lehigh Valley's always been known for their strong volleyball programs, and the Cougars are going to go right into the teeth of that. Anything the Cougars get right now would be, a bonus, because they've really exceeded expectations. They've done a fantastic job with the program. The guys have bought in. There's been no problems on the team, and it's just a team getting together. A lot of fantastic athletes from other sports too, lending their talents to the volleyball team. And like I said, whatever they get now is gravy, because they've set a standard now for the volleyball program, and maybe even better things would be ahead for them.
And David, it's an exciting time of year with district playoffs coming up in several sports and state championships coming up in track next week. Keep track of all of it with the Standard Speaker and us here at SSP TV News.